Meet Rukmani Chetri. She is from Darjeeling and was born deaf in a poor family. But that did not stop her from reaching great heights in life. This is her story. Hi everyone and welcome back. Today I have a very special guest with me. And this guest of mine, as you know that I've been looking for some unique stories. I came across this on Facebook and I had to track her down. This is Rukmani Chetri and she's from Darjeeling. And her story is a very unique one. And looking at the resume that she has and everything, which is really amazing, and I'm here to tell you her story today. And I hope you will wait this through and watch this throughout, because this one is going to be really good. Now, I think more than me, I would rather let Rukmani speak about herself. Introduce herself. Rukmani, why don't you introduce yourself?
Thank you for welcoming and thank you for giving me a chance and opportunity. And I feel really very good. And my name is Rukmani and my sign name is this. I'm from Darjeeling. And before when I was studying at Kalimpong School. She used to study there and I was studying with a normal hearing school. Then I moved to Darjeeling and it's near high school and we have shambled there. And a lot of deaf, there is only one deaf and lot of hearing people are there. And it was very difficult for me to get them because it's not easy for me to understand. I alone and as a deaf, I tried to talk to them and I tried to move but I can't understand. Then I left Darjeeling in the age of 20 I left Darjeeling, then I moved to Delhi. Then I started searching for a small children's school to make them know. Then I saw there are so many deaf people and I don't know the sign language as well. Because earlier I was not using any sign language, so how will I know? So slowly I was using the sign language. Then I came to feel that okay fine, this is how. Then I moved to Delhi. Then I worked as UN. Then I went as a voluntary service as UN. Then I moved to Bangalore. And now in Bangalore I'm staying here. And now I'm working as a Signable app. So Signable app is all about the communication of the deaf people. Like a deaf people is not to talk. So there's a barrier between each other. Like for example, you are here, but I'm a deaf, so I can't even talk to you, right? So through Signable app, this is a very easy way because there is no interpreter near to me, right? It's my independent life and my app is helping me to talk to you. Now you can understand, right? Through any Signable app, she's calling me and I'm giving you the explanation to you through my voice and whatever you say, I just give them a sign.
So as you can see, this is how we are doing this interview. So yes, she is with a disability and this was a story that I really wanted to track because of course like I said, this story was very important to me. I found it very, very unique and I really wanted this story to be heard and to be told. Now there may be a lot of glitches over here. You will notice that we are not on a perfect setup. We are on an informal setup. We are using this app called Signable app where she actually works herself. And because of this, we have an interpreter on the phone which she is looking at and communicating. And I'm recording the voice of the interpreter, who's Alka ma'am, and on my other microphone. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about Rukmani before we go ahead with this. Now Rukmani, I am looking at her Facebook profile and I will read it out to you. I will actually leave a link of it below for you to see yourself. So it says here she is the Deaf Engagement and Marketing Manager at Signable. She is a Deaf Outreach Manager at Includu. She is also a social community champion at Shiro's, executive member at National Association of the Deaf India, former senior program manager at SignLab, former International United Nations volunteer, advocacy for specialists on disability at UN Volunteers, also former active members at Samarthyam, former member service representative at the National Center for Promotion of Employment for Disabled People. See, now there is a lot regarding this. This is a lot of achievements. Now, because I found a person like her, that was exactly the reason why I wanted to do this story. For me, it was mind blowing to find someone like her. So, my first question to Rupmani would be like, okay, I have to start with questions, right, Rupmani? So, so I have noted down a few questions. Like I said, guys, this is unique and this is very informal. But yeah, so I just heard your story about how you came from Darjeeling, Kalimpong to this place and how you've done so much. Who has been the most inspiring figure for you in your life regarding everything that you've been doing?
When she was very small, she was dreaming that what happened, all the world is hearing, entire world is getting hearing. I'm the alone person, my family, my relatives, everybody is hearing, but I was only deaf person in my family. My family was getting worried. My daughter is deaf, they were worried. So my father is from Nepal, my father mother is from Nepal. They didn't know, they didn't study, they are very low in study, they're not that educated, so they don't know about the accessibility. So they was really worried for me a lot. Then they tried searching for me and they searched a deaf school. And Kalimpong, they got a school for a deaf girl only. Only the girls can read there. So when I saw there are a lot of boy and I was the only girl over there. So I left that school, then I joined in another school and I saw that only speech therapy is there. They have forced them to teach them a sign language in not forcing using sign language. They have a speech only. So it's very difficult for me to communicate that there is sign language. When they use a sign language, they used to get punishment for that. They don't allow to use sign language. They have to be forced to use his voice. So in mirror, she has to go every day and she used to say something like father, mommy, papa, whatever she wants to call them. Papa was shocked. The father, oh, my daughter can speak now. Then they were very happy because the awareness is very less because they are from villagers, right? So they don't have that much of aware. So when I call my mom, and when I call my papa, father, then they were very happy. Then they taught me and they were very happy. And slowly when I grew up, then I went to one of the school and when 1-2 years, 2 times she has studied 3 years. It's one class she is studying 2 times. So in that way she was not failing her exam, but she was passing out. But thing is like my father was not so happy because they want me to make it very educated and they want me to understand that when my class 5 is over, then I started with joining into hearing people. Then I don't know how to talk with them. Then Darjeeling school, I went to Darjeeling school. So then all the people were hearing people and when I was not able to understand, I was not able to write because it's very easy, it's not easy. So teacher used to write in a blackboard, they used to write, I just see and my visually, I just only use my visual. I can't hear, I can't speak, right? So I have to just write from my eyes and I just write whatever the madam will write or sir will write, I'll just copy that and just try hard and hard to go it out. And slowly then I went to Rukmani and I asked Rukmani that I can't hear, I don't know the sign language, how will I do, what will I do? So it's not easy. It was very difficult for me because only through my eyes I was just understanding and through my eyes I was just learning. And there was a lot of financial difficulties in my family because we don't have that much of financial status in my house. So before I was working as a massage. 1 month I was getting only 300 rupees and it was very hard to manage in my family. Only massage morning to 12 hours I used to work, like morning 6 to evening 6 I used to work and I get only 300 rupees, that's it. So my father asked me for the money, but how will I manage my family because it's not easy for me. Then slowly I have started searching one more job. Then I just started doing a job, like I started making a stone breaking. I started doing a cement also. I just started carrying out the cement and I just go ahead and get some money. I also do the massage. There's so many multi work I used to do because of my mom and dad is not having such much money with us. So we started working like anything. Then I was not happy. But still I started only have my one sister and 2 brothers. And brother is really late because sister is not communicating with me because I used to communicate with my sister very slowly. It's very difficult for me because they all doesn't know the sign language. I was not happy at all. Then I left Darjeeling in age of 20 or 19. I just left Darjeeling and then I moved to Delhi. then I saw, I was surprised that so many deaf people and they're using sign language and they're just using natural sign language very fast. I didn't understand at all. So like I was getting interested like how these people are using sign language. I tried my level best. I just started to know this is happy or this is sad. So I started learning the sign language and the expression, the facial expression, everything was really beautiful for me. And then I started learning all of the sign language in Indian sign language, and all in India. I then started doing the sign language. Then I start whatever I'm doing now.
Okay. So from that, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. From that answer that she just gave me, I can gauge that the biggest inspiration probably in her life has been herself. One of the most important thing, and especially I can gather that when she discovered a lot of things in Delhi, Now, but over the years, you have progressed so much, you have done so much, you have worked so much, and I did see here that you were a volunteer for the United Nations, and I saw a few photos that you went abroad. Which was the country that you went to, and how was the experience?
Yeah, I felt very happy. Like I feel very proud that being an Indian and I went the first as in UN. Being a volunteer of that. I really don't believe on myself. Education was only 12th of mine. So all the people that it's for you. You went UN. It's not possible for you. It's not possible for you because UN rule is like education is very high. And I was only 12th pass, that's it. So I have tried my level best, I can try it, and I just don't know you, and it's not possible for you, it's not easy. You try email to me. So you can email and you please search, and if that's possible, if you Google, you do Google and you can try and you can check and you can send me. Then 4 months I was not having any job, so I was not, how to will I give my money? My father mother is also not paying to me, then I was not having that much of money with me. So I have tried myself and fight with myself, and I have tried a job. Then I started talking with that UN email and in the international ASL and everything, they have to use it. Because she doesn't know the ASL, because Indian Sign Language she came to know regarding staying in Delhi, she came to know, but she doesn't know the ASL, American Sign Language. So he started learning YouTube, and YouTube was a tutor for her, and she started learning that from YouTube. Then they called for an interview. So then she went for the interview at UN at Delhi. So she went for an interview, she accepted that, and ASL, International Sign Language, ASL, everything was done. So she was saying, okay, fine, we'll see you later. Then they said, see you later, so it is confirmed or it's not confirmed. She was getting confused. So she was leaving for that, she gave a letter that you have been confirmed, and she went happy that she has been success. That from in India, in Delhi, I used to say UN, I have to, there is a place in Delhi, I have to stay there. So they said, no, you have to go for a health checkup. So I don't know, Delhi is the office I should go, right? Then they said, no, you have to move to Uganda. Ukraine, you have to move there. So in India, it's not in India. Then Uganda, she has to go. Then okay, then fine. She was getting doubt because in the world she never traveled any of the country. It was the first time for her, like from the childhood, she was never traveled anywhere. So it was first time for her. So I asked my friends, they are calling me Uganda. I have to move there. No, don't go. There is a war in that 2014. There was a war in Uganda, Russia. There was a war going very high in 2015. Please don't go, it's a danger. Please don't go. If you go, then you will die. Don't go. Our friends make them afraid and scared. So he was very afraid. Then he was getting worried. So what will I do? Then she was worried. Let me go and let me check. Let me go with my independent life. So I don't able to eat roti, right? But in Uganda, please, there is a use of bread. There in Uganda, the people, they used to have a bread, and you're not able to eat over there. They don't use rice, they don't use roti, so you can't eat over there. They have never gave me a positive answer. They just started giving me negative. Then still Rukmani started, no, why will I listen to other people? Let me go. 4 months there is no job, I don't have any money with me, so let me go. Whatever will happen, it's up to me. So I never know. I think UN means it's like, okay, I'll be working as a sweeper or maybe a peon like that. But let me go and check. First time when I went to UN, and they have given a flight to me, they have given everything was given by them. With my family, I didn't go. I just went all alone with me. Then I went there was a language was totally different, the face of the people were different. So I was really getting a lot of, I know English, but the place So where I went, it was a very difficult. They doesn't know English. So they asked me, why you have come down here? You please go back to India. Go back to India. Don't come here. So UN office has given me this letter. They don't understand the letter because the letter was written in English. So she was not able to understand. The people were not able to understand. So they brought an interpreter. So over there, because I reached there in the night and people are saying that we don't have any interpreter. And their face was very strict and they was not that lovable or not approachable type. So they started just ignoring them. So UN, I asked some people, I called them, then nobody's helping me. So what will I go? They're not opening my gate I'm standing in the bus, I'm not able to go. So they said, okay, don't worry, you will get a help from my side, you just worry. Then when they called, they started giving a respect to them, giving a salute to them. So she wouldn't understand what happened to me. They were not allowing me, and suddenly they're giving me a salute, and I was really feel very proud over there. Then they gave me the address, and I went to that place, and my office room they gave me. So I was really surprised. It's my office room. I said, oh wow, this is my office room. So I was like, UN team were like making a hello handshake. Everybody was doing it. It's like, I don't know, understand. Everybody saying all the name, and the name was really different for me. Okay, hello, and hi. I just tell, okay, I feel like happy. The first time me going from India to a foreign country and getting a first being a deaf and being selected over there, and I was feel very happy. And being a woman, being a deaf, being a lady, going to India and going to represent my country to UN. So I feel very happy over this. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Every time, sorry, I have to say, can you hear me? But then, yeah. So that was a very that was a very interesting story, By the way, for the viewers who are not aware, the ASL stands for the American Sign Language and ISL stands for the Indian Sign Language. And some time back, I have had this wonderful, like people keep on posting something like the most beautiful thing I found on the internet, and they post it on Facebook. For me, the most beautiful thing that I had found on the internet was something that I shared with my friends, not on Facebook, on WhatsApp groups and all that, but it was something, a young lady, on YouTube, by the channel name The Daily Smile. She did some wonderful translations, sign language translations through ASL for the American songs, which the first time I saw I felt was the most beautiful thing that I saw on the internet. And because she was so expressive and everything. And I'm going to leave a link down below of the Daily Smile as well. It is really amazing. You should have a look at it and see what I'm talking about. Now, moving back to Rupmani, the next question that I wanted to...
Yeah, please.
Okay. Okay, the next question that I wanted to ask Rupmani was... like, I have seen that you have been through difficult times all your life, and you have done so much, and I heard your story that you came from Darjeeling, that you came from Kalimpong, studied in Kalimpong. So I actually noticed she does speak a little bit of Nepali, and but yeah, so there was a question that I wanted to, like coming from a small place, what is the message that you would like to give to others, especially back home, who may be facing their own problems and their own hardships in life? What is the message you'd like to give others, even in general, that is?
Yeah, okay, thank you for that. In a small town people, the city or general people, I'm saying this only, it's not a normal thing, it's a general thing I'm going to say. It's important is that education. Education is really very important. Education is really very important. If you don't study, then you won't be able to communicate, or you don't be able to get a job, or you don't be able to get a communication with each other. So education is really very important for you. And supporting a hearing person is not that easy, but you don't neglect the deaf people. You have to tell them, okay, fine, you go ahead, go and study, go and inclusivize. Please force them. Like how we force to the hearing person, go and study, don't give up. go and study. Just give the positive answer. Same thing you should go for a deaf people. And it's a very important that the father mother has to be a very good responsibility for the children. And maybe if father mother doesn't know, they at least go for a counselor, or you can know person of psychological people, whatever people you think like what you need, you should go for it. And it's very important is to study. And if you don't study, then you can't go and you can't make a house or maybe a building or maybe something. Because my father mother doesn't study. They have pushed me to study. And now I'm here in this place, and our deaf person, how can, oh my God, they're giving a sympathy to the deaf person. Don't give us. We are hearing person, like hearing person is just doing the whatever they want. The same thing why don't the deaf people can do. So maybe they are coming from village, or maybe the study is not so good, maybe the education is not that so good coming from a village. You should at least have some awareness. You should at least have a seminar. You should at least have them a workshop, so that people at least understand, they will listen and they will feel, and they can change themselves. If you don't give any awareness, you don't give them a seminar or workshop, they won't be able to understand. It's not their fault. It's all the fault is our NGO, or a company has to take a responsibility and to make a support to them. And if possible, if can be done. If a child is making, if you're hiding a child, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Fine. Yeah, we can tell him.
Hearing about her, what she just told me about, treating everybody the same and everything, I just wanted to ask her something, that because she has achieved a lot and is able to now think of all these things and spread the message and everything, she is aware of the fact that back home we do not have so many opportunities. Would she want to ever go back and even hold a seminar or do something for the people out there, if given a chance?
Yeah, for me it's possible. I can do it. I really want to people, for the deaf people, I really explain them. I want to support them, because I want that hearing people are getting a lot of chance. They're getting a chance to go abroad. They're getting a chance to go whatever they want. They are doing everything. But where is the deaf people? They're not doing anything, right? So we want the equal thing for the deaf and hearing. Like even I want to support them. Or maybe with people with disability, they're not able to see, or they can't able to walk. Even they should also get a chance, to go ahead, and they can go ahead to go. Whatever the thing is, like this communication is really very backward for us. And the deaf people are getting a lot of backwards for this. Hearing people are going away and away, and we don't have that much of interpreter. And there's a lot of accessibility in interpreters. In the interpret in the village, what that interpreter means, that doesn't know the meaning of interpreter as well. Now you talk. I'm just talking to you. You know what is the meaning of interpreter? If I want to bring an interpreter in front of me, so will you able to talk to me?
True.
No. The same thing is for also village people. Village people also not able to understand what is the meaning of interpreter, what's the meaning of the deaf language, what is the meaning of the communication with the deaf people. Hearing should at least learn the sign language. They should at least know how to teach the sign language, or daughter or son, whoever the deaf may be. They have to teach them their own son or child. It's very easy for them, but they don't know. They just guide the child like, okay, fine, my daughter, my son is really nice, my daughter's son is good. They don't know. The other people doesn't know that my son or daughter is a deaf person. Maybe 16 years after, we are just expressing and we are telling that he is a deaf, he is not able to learn, he is not able to study. Because in age of 50, will he go back to study? No, it's not possible, and the education has been missed out. So it's not that. If you're having a family or deaf person, you have to tell them, don't ashamed of that. Okay, my daughter, my son is deaf, so I won't make her out to the society. My society should not know the child is deaf. So you should not be. You have to be very frank. You have to tell them. You have to tell the society. Maybe India will come up and to support. I know there is a lot of financial issue in the village area for the education. I do understand that. But in the government have to support there, or maybe India has to support that, and they can go ahead and they can make a future will be a good and accessibility, and they can get a lot of opportunity.
She was telling me that she has to go to a meeting at 11:30. Yeah, so I can see that we are already running short of time. It is about to be 11:30. I think she needs to catch a taxi. So I'm sorry, but for most of you watching me on the screen, we are both looking at the mobile phone, and we are talking there, because that is where Alka ma'am is, the interpreter. And this very app that we are talking about, this very app that we are talking on, this is where Rukmani is currently working also. No? You are the Deaf Engagement and Marketing Manager at Signable. Yes. And this is the very app that we are using right now.
But I want to say that hearing person should at least understand. Tarun is a person. He has suffered and he has supported me like anything. Like he's having his own company. His name is Tarun. And
Who's Tarun?
Okay. He started doing Signable and how to make the accessibility for the deaf people and how to start with the deaf people to communicate. So in India, it's the first time Signable app has been done. If Signable app will be not there, then we were not able to communicate with any hearing person. So it's a new technology which has been done. A Signable app has a new technology. World, we have a lot of people in Europe, America, Thailand. All the people are having a VRS. So in India, we don't have any VRS. It's the first time in India we have started doing a Signable. It's a VRS process, and we want you to at least express everywhere and tell them, this is Signable is having a, or wherever they want to go to doctor, communicate, or maybe hospital or police station or court, or maybe wherever they want to go, they can communicate through Signable app, and that can be used for the deaf people as well as for the hearing or partially deaf. Hearing, handicap and hearing, they can at least understand. But I want to tell you, earlier I know the sign language. It's only in Indian sign language, but I know that. But now I came to know 7 sign language. What is the 7th sign language? It's from UN. I started maybe India, Nepal, ASL, Ukraine sign language, BSL, British sign language, international sign language. There are a lot of language I came to know. I don't know only one language. I know so many languages of different countries. It's not that for me also I know the Hindi sign language also. Also we have a Hindi speaking or English speaking. We have also the sign language of that. So we need to have so we can support and we can at least the change of life we can make it and we can make a very good life. Please help us. Please support us and please support the deaf community, deaf people, and also deaf people also support the hearing people. That's all. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for this wonderful message. I think the message is loud and clear here, and yes, we were talking about the Signable app, and I hope every one of you enjoyed this story. For me, like I said, this has been a wonderful experience to come and speak to Rukmani and communicate with her, whether be it through a Signable app and tell her story. I mean, it is an amazing thing. I am collecting all of these stories, and some of these stories are so unique, and this is exactly the way that I want to keep on collecting stories. For all of those who are watching, I want to tell you that so far I have been collecting these stories all by myself and looking them, searching them on Facebook, taking references from other people. And so if you could refer anybody to me in any part of the country, right now I am in Bangalore and I will be leaving Bangalore soon, and if you could refer people with unique stories, I would love to cover them. This is so amazing. And yes, I would like to thank Rukmani once again. Thank you for giving me the time, and this is amazing. Just thank you very much, and I wish you all the very best, Rukmani.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And for coming here and making me and you feel actually inspired and you got good and I want you to spread the message and to know everybody that this is awareness about this lack of awareness about the hearing community. So I want to tell everybody to come up and they can at least know it.
Well, thank you everyone once again, and yes, that was a wonderful story. I hope that you enjoyed it, and yes, I shall see you again another time, another place, with another unique story, and I hope it always becomes as interesting like this one. Thank you. Thank you, Rukmani.